Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to the Cricket Happening Show with your host Ram. As you know, on Saturday it's a very late report, as you all know. Well, as far as this report is concerned, in this particular cricket report, everything is going to be looked at brief because I'm going to look at the third one-day international where India had a very convincing victory over England. In fact, they rolled them out in the brand new stadium that was Dhoni's home ground, Ranchi, and England were totally rolled out for 155, and then India really applying a sort of tincture to the wounds of England by actually getting a very nice victory there under the belt and actually going leading in the series, one-day series 2-1. And as far as the South Africa versus New Zealand first one-day international was concerned, it was played at a very small ground, which was Paarl. And well, let me tell you, South African fans were really disappointed. New Zealand, I would say, probably created an upset here because they won the first one-day international against South Africa to get a winning, start the series on the right note with a 1-0 lead. And then we will look at the Big Bash final where Perth Scorchers once again faltered, as this time they were beaten by the Brisbane Heat, and Brisbane Heat went on to actually take the Big Bash League Cup 2013. So congratulations to the Brisbane Heat team. Well, so first let's start off. So as I said, whatever time I am getting, I'll try to do it as short as possible, as brief as possible. Now, as far as India versus England were concerned, this was a very important match for England, but India were the ones. Actually, this was played at Ranchi, as you know, Mahendra Singh Dhoni's ground. Mahendra Singh Dhoni's hometown, and today it was a victory. It was a sweet victory for England in India, winning by 7 wickets, and I'm sure Dhoni and the fans in Ranchi, because it was the first match which was played at the HEC International Cricket Stadium, and what a stadium. It was a day-night match and everything was perfect. In fact, Mahendra Singh Dhoni in the post-conference after the match was over said he gives 9 points out of 10 to this particular cricket stadium, which is of absolutely international standard. As far as England were concerned, England never had it better. In fact, there was really some movement available for the bowlers, which was exploited very well by the two rookie bowlers. As you know, they have been just playing 2 or 3 matches. Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Shami Ahmed, both of them exploited it well. In fact, Alistair Cook was the first wicket to go. Shami Ahmed was the one who actually provided the breakthrough. He was out for 17. Ian Bell contributed 25 runs, being a victim of the bowling of Bhuvneshwar Kumar. And after that, Ishan Sharma came in and picked up 2 wickets. Ishan Sharma picked up the wicket of Kevin Peterson, which was a bit doubtful. Caught Dhoni bowled Sharma for 17 of 20 balls with 2 fours. And Joe Root was the highest scorer in this team with 39 runs of 57 balls with 4 fours. He was also a victim of Sharma. And in fact, there were 2 wickets which went in successive balls, because when 68 for 3 when Bell departed, and then there was a partnership which took it on to 97. But at the score on 97 and 98, in fact, they lost 3 wickets pretty quickly. First to go was Morgan, when Ravichandran Ashwin actually picked up his wicket for 10 runs. Kees Wheater, a very tame shot from Kees Wheater. He saw his stumps being disturbed by Jadeja. He was out for a duck, and Jadeja also took the wicket of Samit Patel, who was LBW, for a duck, which made the score pretty shaky at 98 for 6. It required Tim Bresnan to actually root himself at the crease along with Joe Root, and well, with the support that Tim Bresnan offered, Joe Root was playing, but Joe Root, after contributing 39, was out. He was a victim of Sharma. Tim Bresnan, well, he contributed 25 runs of 37 balls with 3 fours. So that was the only thing. After that, it was a quick wrap-up as far as England were concerned, as they were all out for 155. So what was very good about it was, first, the seamers actually did their job. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Shami Ahmed and Ishan Sharma, and then the spinners came in and applied the brakes and also started picking up wickets at regular intervals. And the England innings totally went absolutely aground, because they at one stage they were doing well at 68 for 1 in the 15th over, and then finally, if you look at the score, they were 155 all out in 42.2 overs. Not a very good performance from England, I thought, because basically they were guilty of playing a lot of loose shots. They was not attacking. Basically, they lost their wickets on defensive deliveries, on their defense against the spinners and other bowlers. Now, as far as bowling figures are concerned, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, 10 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 40. Shami Ahmed, 8 overs, no maiden, 1 for 23, bowled in the right areas. Ishan Sharma 7 overs 2 for 29. Jadeja bowled 6.2 overs, no maiden 3 for 19. Continued to bowl very well. Ravichandran Ashwin, after a long time, I thought he really was having a very good line, and he really kept the batsman really guessing. 10 overs 2 for 37. Suresh Raina 1 over, no maiden, 1 run and 1 wicket. As far as India were concerned, well, India, the start was not good. Ajinkya Rahane was bowled through the gate by Stephen Finn for a duck, but after that it was a very good partnership that came in, with Gambhir also getting into the party. Gambhir, I would say this innings would have done some sort of it would have given him some confidence. But the good thing for India was Virat Kohli, after a long time, struck the form at the right moment to finish on unbeaten 77 of 79 balls with 9 fours and 2 sixes, and all the shots that he played were played with I would say immense confidence. He was whipping the ball well, he was hitting the cover drive pretty well, he was really placing the ball in the gaps. Everything about Kohli was absolutely right, and this was a wonderful innings from Virat Kohli, which yielded 77 runs of 79 balls with 9 fours and 2 sixes. Gautam Gambhir contributed 33 of 53 balls with 4 fours, and also very good to see Virat Kohli use his feet against the spinners. James Tredwell, as and when he actually flighted the ball, he sent him soaring over the wickets for a 6. In fact, he hit 2 sixes of the bowling of James Tredwell. Yuvraj Singh also entertained the public with a very quick fire 30 of just 21 balls, 6 fours in that knock of 30. That he departed, he was bowled by Tredwell for 30, and Dhoni was there on his home ground, that is in Ranchi, to hit the winning run, and the public absolutely went berserk when that happened. Dhoni was not out on 10 of 12 balls with 2 fours, and Virat Kohli, who got himself into form at the right time, not out on 77 of 79 balls, 9 fours and 2 sixes, taking the man of the match, and India led the 5-match series 2-1. Well, so as bowling figures were concerned, there were only 4 bowlers used. It was Stephen Finn 9.1 overs, no maidens, 50 runs and 1 wicket. Dernbash 5 overs, cost him 45, was very costly. Gautam Gambhir also played some very good strokes, and Virat Kohli I've already spoken about. Tim Bresnan 7 overs, 2 maidens, none for 31. I thought he bowled well today. James Tredwell continues to really impress, even though 2 sixes were hit by Virat Kohli. I thought James Tredwell was, one could see that James Tredwell was really flighting the ball. He was not afraid to do that to the Indian batsman, and he also yielded wickets to him. 7 overs, 1 maiden, 29 runs and 2 wickets, and India leading 2-1 in the series. But the good thing was it was played in Dhoni's hometown, and this would have been a very sweet win for Mahendra Singh Dhoni and his team. And as I said, this was the first match which was played over here at the International Stadium, which was absolutely quality standards. And well, now we move on to the 4th one-day international, which probably is coming up, I reckon, at Mohali on 23rd of January. Other than that, one thing I would like to say, as far as this match is concerned, good thing was Gambhir and Kohli getting into form, and the English bowling. Well, in fact, Alistair Cook couldn't even bring Samit Patel to bowl, because probably he was worried that the Indian batsman might finish off the target pretty quickly. Well, other than that, dear fans, now I'm going to change over from here, and I'm going to take you to South Africa and Paarl, where the first one-day international was played between South Africa and New Zealand. And South Africa were the ones who batted first, and South Africa, in their effort, made 208 all out. Very good bowling from the debutant. In fact, 2 persons actually made their debut for New Zealand and South Africa today. For New Zealand, it was Mcleanghan, who made his international debut, and what an international debut for him. He was the one who was instrumental in getting the South Africans all out for 208. Splendid bowling from Mcleanghan. He had figures of 10 overs, 2 maidens, 20 runs and 4 wickets. And on his international debut, I thought one does not know who got the man of the match. I'm not so sure about that, but probably my man of the match would have been Mcleanghan for taking 4 wickets for 20 runs. As far as South Africa were concerned, if you look at the big names all faltered. It was some good bowling from Mcleanghan. Not only did he choke the runs, he also started getting wickets, and that really piled on the pressure on South Africa. And South Africa, if we look at the card, Hashim Amla was the first to go. It was LBW ball Mills for 13 of 22 balls, 1-4. Graham Smith made only 7 of 15 balls. He was LBW ball Mcleanghan. Ingram contributed 29, and also please note the fact that Mcleanghan had good support from the other end, and that was the part-time off-spinner Kane Williamson. Just because Mitchell Mcleanghan really made further lots of inroads into the South African batting and started choking the runs, when Kane Williamson came, he probably had the luxury of actually really flighting the ball, and the South Africans couldn't take any liberty. And as and when they really decided to go for it, they really started throwing their wickets away. Kane Williamson, 7.2 overs, no maiden, 22 runs and 4 wickets, sharing the spoils with Mitchell Mcleanghan. As far as the South African batting was concerned, though, A.B. de Villiers, the captain himself, was out for 7, and he was bowling with lots of pace and lot of guile, I would say. Quinton de Kock contributed 18, but Faf du Plessis was the highest scorer with 57 of 72 balls with 3 fours. Ryan McLaren contributed a good 33 of 39 balls with 3 fours, and Cleanville on his debut made 26. There were 2 debutants for South Africa too. It was Quinton de Kock and Cleanville actually making their debut. So 208 all out South Africa. The bowling figures: Mills 1 for 55, 4 for 25, Mcleanghan 4 for 22 for Williamson. I'm not going into those details. In fact, there was another person who made a debut for New Zealand, was James Neesham, 4 overs no maiden, none for 22. Franklin bowled 10 overs, 1 for 44, but more than that, Franklin came with the bat and took the New Zealanders to victory, which I'll talk about. And Nathan McCullum bowled 6 overs for 34 runs. As far as New Zealand were concerned, well, let me tell you, 208 was the total, so they had already done their job as far as the ball, and then now it was the turn for New Zealand to come good with the bat. Yes, as far as New Zealand were concerned, they didn't have a good start. They lost both the openers, Rob Nicol and Martin Guptill, back in the pavilion. Martin Guptill was run out for a duck. Rob Nicol was out for Tsotsobe for 4. Watling made a very good 45, 78 balls with 5 fours. Kane Williamson was out for 5. Brendan McCullum contributed 26 of 40 balls. In fact, it was such a situation that they started losing wickets. Grant Elliott was out for 1, and then it took Franklin to really resurrect the situation, because it seemed like probably South Africa were really getting getting into the picture there to win the match at 105 for 7 and at 140 for 8, when Nathan McCullum was in fact it was 105 for 7. So that was the stage where Nathan McCullum and Franklin were at the crease. But Franklin got some good support from Nathan McCullum, who contributed 24 of 21 balls with 4 fours, and then he had support from the other batsmen. I think it was Kyle Mills who contributed. Kyle Mills contributed 26 runs of 40 balls with 1 4 and 1 6, and finally Mcleanghan was there to see it through for Franklin, and Franklin contributed a very good unbeaten 47 runs of 61 balls with 5 fours, thus taking New Zealand to victory in the 46th over. So that was a good performance from James Franklin after coming back into the New Zealand team, and what an all-rounder he is. He really made it count. He showed that he's a very good utility batsman. As far as the bowling figures were concerned, Steen 10 overs 3 maidens, none for 33, was wicketless. So Tsobe created inroads, 8 overs 2 maidens, 43 runs and 2 wickets. Cleanville on his debut, 9 overs 237. Mcleanghan was very impressive, but he was costly. He had 446 of his 8.4 overs. Robin Peterson bowled 10 overs no maiden, none for 37. Unfortunately, I can't really go into the nitty-gritties here, but New Zealand, I would say that James Franklin got some good support from all the tailenders, and he managed to take New Zealand to victory. So they go 1 up in the series. And as far as the Big Bash League final is concerned, Perth Scorchers once again faltered. This is the second time they are faltering in the Big Bash League, and the Big Bash League went to Brisbane Heat. Brisbane Heat was the one. In fact, Brisbane Heat were the ones who actually batted first. They made 167 for 5 contributions from Luke Palmerbatch, who has been very consistent. I thought he has been the one. He has been leading the show here. 37 of 38 balls, 2 fours and 1 6. 43 to Burns. 37 coming in from Daniel Christian. 167 was the total Perth Scorchers put. But Brisbane Heat put, and Perth Scorchers could muster only 133 for 9. For them, Adam Vokes played a hand of 49, and then 24 coming from Marcus Nord. There was not much. The main reason it happened was Nathan Horridge, 3 overs no maiden, none for 11. He picked up some very good catches, but Kemar Roche was the one who really stuck into the Perth Scorchers batsmen, taking 4 overs no maiden, 18 runs and 3 wickets. Alistair McDermott gave him support with 2 wickets. 2 wickets coming to Ben Cutting and 1 each to Daniel Christian and Lynn. In fact, player of the match went to Nathan Horridge because of his very good catches that he took, and the player of the series of the Big Bash League went to Aaron Finch for his powerful batting. Well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, as I had to really ram in all this cricket report because of 3 matches all happening, I wanted to cover everything. I know probably it has not been so impressive, but I always do my best to give you a sort of summary. Thanks for your watching Cricket Happenings, and thanks for your company. This is your host Ram signing off for the day. Thank you.